So, hello and welcome to the second episode of Campus Connect, a podcast where we discuss everything about college life, from making the right choices to meeting the right people. Today, I have Abhiram and Shaurya joining me from the Dayananda Sagar College of Engineering. They are also proud members of the DSI chapter of Campus Bench. So, without further ado, let's first introduce ourselves.
Hi guys, this is Shaurya. I'm from Dayananda Sagar College of Engineering and I studied electronics telecommunication engineering and I'm right now in third year. So talking about myself, I'm an enthusiast when it comes to meeting new people and exploring new ideas and creating something new, inventing. Okay, so right now I'm a content creator. It's been 2 years and I've almost marketed 30 brands plus in promoting various cafes or anything, stores. And handing over to Abhiram.
Well, that's quite an intro. Guys, I'm Abhiram. I'm a computer science engineer in my third year right now. I'm a part of my college photography and media team and also in the marketing team. I lead my department's magazine, which is quarterly equal. And recently I've been a founding member and the lead of my entire college digital marketing team.
Okay, guys, I do sense a little bit awkwardness. I am not interviewing you here. We're just having a conversation. So let's break some ice. We'll play the very original game of charades or word association, which has never been played before on any other podcast. So I'll just tell you a word, and you have to say the first thing that comes to your mind instinctively. If you're thinking about it, you have lost. Okay. So the first word, and this is to you, Abhira, is camera.
Click.
Okay. And civil engineering.
Boring.
Okay. And hostel food. Fine. That's the first time I'm hearing that. And okay, so let's about say a PG or a flat.
Friends.
Friends. Okay. Wherever the friends are. Okay, so I guess that covers it. So we'll move on to the questions, I think. So what the audience would want to know. So the reason why we are doing this podcast here is that we want to the audience itself, to the students who are watching, we want to let them know about what goes on in the college. And I believe that this information is not out there. And definitely once it is out there, I think this will help students, make a more informed choice. So I just want to know, so first of all, this is an answer that I want from the both of you. So Shaurya, will begin with you. Why did you choose DSI? So why are you here?
So when I actually searched in the Google for the best top 5 colleges, Dayananda Sagar was one of it.
Okay.
And when I saw the campuses, it was pretty good. And of my cutoff, I was getting Dayananda Sagar. So I was pretty much open to get into Dayananda Sagar, and it turned out how exactly I wanted it.
Okay, and what about you?
I've given my comment, and after seeing my rank, I thought I'll take up computer science and engineering. For the cutoff we had back then, I'm getting Dayananda Sagar or something like Bangalore Institute of Technology.
Okay.
I've compared them both, and I thought Dayananda Sagar is better, and it is actually better, I think.
Okay. So you went on to Google, searched about the college. Was there any surprise, like when you joined college, something came out of the blue that you didn't know at all? Oh, that something like this happened in the college.
I'd say there's a student body in our college called CPA, Center for Performing Arts, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
That was not listed in any of the websites online, which were available online, or any former students. I mean, it was mainly students cared about the academics and the placements part, but then this also is a huge part of the college, I feel, because it's more vibrant and colorful in our college with CPA roaming around.
Okay.
But that was missing there amongst the reviews.
Okay. So you have mentioned to me that you're both from Hyderabad, and there are obviously a lot of institutions, especially engineering institutions in Hyderabad as well. So what made you come to Bangalore? Why did you choose Bangalore?
See, first thing I would say, people over here are completely different. You won't find multilingualistic people from all over India in Hyderabad, to be honest, actually. So I think that is the reason why I've chose Bangalore, because I get to meet a lot of people from Kashmir, So it was really nice knowing people from all over India.
Okay. And what about you? What made you make the move?
Hyderabad is a good place for students, but then I felt Bangalore would give me a better exposure when compared to Hyderabad.
Right.
Better crowd.
Mhm.
So I just moved to Bangalore just for my studies.
But so, what do you miss about Hyderabad, which is not here in Bangalore?
I would say the street food actually.
Same.
It's
Actually,
you wouldn't find the best street food that you get in Hyderabad here.
Okay. Yeah. So again, so coming on to your move, that is what we want to talk about. What were the challenges you faced? Obviously, see, because moving itself is not just about the college. You have to find accommodation, you have to find a place to eat, you have to find a place to stay. So how did you go about it one by one? If I could know your journey.
Well, when I first moved to Bangalore, I was put in my college hostel, which was decent to stay. But then the food was not. I mean, it was fine, as
It
I
was
already
hostel
told.
food.
Yeah,
It was hosted.
yeah. It doesn't meet your expectations, but it's not bad at the same time. You can have it, but can't have it at the same time. But then I've made a lot of friends. I've made a lot of friends when I came to Bangalore,
Okay.
and from those friends, we've been hanging out since for a year in the same college hostel, partying in the college hostel.
So would you say that staying in a hostel, gave you that privilege of getting to know so many people,
Yeah.
just living in the same environment?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'd say that. I mean, I'd even suggest students who would want to join my college to stay in the hostel for at least a year,
Okay.
so that you'll be exposed to many people. You'll be having many friends. Some of them might be great, some of them might be good. But then the point is, you'll be having friends.
No,
I mean-
I wouldn't say that for girls' hostel because NRI boys' hostel was there for boys in that DSC, but girls they just had a normal Indian hostel kind of.
Okay.
So I didn't want that kind of hostel life because there were no better facilities like what they were getting.
I mean, since you're not aware what's NRI and Indian hostel is a very compact, small, congested, claustrophobic hostel.
I guess we've all seen Chichore.
Yeah.
Exactly. You got it.
Yeah, but then NRI hostel is a bit more spacious.
Right. We
Uh-huh.
didn't have that for girls.
And after my first year, I've moved out into a flat with my friends,
Okay.
and since then we've been partying most.
Okay. So that is the tip. You make friends in a hostel, and then you
you
all
grab them
move out
and get
together.
out.
Then you all move out together. I'll just make sure no landlords are watching it.
Yeah.
So, and what about you? So I think you started your journey in a PG.
Right. So PG, I was stuck for 1 year.
Yeah.
When I had to move out after 6 months, they had me in a contract for 1 year. So I was
Okay.
stuck there. And in
Okay.
second year also, because of friends issue, I couldn't join into a new flat. So I think you guys have to compromise if you're too attached with the friends. So be sure that have your priorities, I would say.
So right now you are living in a flat, and you are also living in an apartment or a PG.
Right now I'm moved in with my mom. So
Okay, so that's
my
the
mom
best.
is-
I would say
yeah.
that is the best. I miss my mom. So okay, so that's it for migration. Now I want to talk, something about your colleges, and I just want you guys to share, maybe let's say a fun anecdote or something like that. Any fun story involving you or your friends, something like, or the shenanigans that happens on DS in Dayananda Sagar on a day-to-day basis.
okay, I have one incident like any random story.
Anything goes.
Random.
Anything goes.
Okay, so I had this lab exam. Okay, the teachers were very very strict when it comes to lab exam. That was the hardest. So I had to give it, and then when I have written my theory paper, and then I had to go and execute the program, and then she finds out that I have a mobile in my phone. I have a
Mobile
phone
in
in
my
my I have a phone in my pocket. So then she was like, bro, you can't give the exam. Then I was like, अम्मा अभी मम्मा तो डांटेगी तो गया आज एग्जाम में और 1500 पे करना पड़ता है फिर
Okay.
एग्जाम देने के लिए तो ऐसे हो वैसे ये हो
Anything?
There's a similar incident with me, well, not with me, but with my friend. There was an exam recently in my college. Well, I'm pretty sure he's not copying and all, but then he had a phone in his desk.
Okay.
The exam was done, he gave his paper, he walked out, but then he realizes that his phone is missing. He doesn't remember that he put it in the exam desk.
Okay.
So he gives a call to his phone through my phone. Then it started ringing with a goofy ass ringtone in the exam hall.
crazy
And then he's got caught with the phone, and then the the evaluator asked him if he wants his phone back or the paper to be evaluated.
I'll just remind everyone that nobody is admitting to any wrongdoing here.
And not me, it's my friend.
No action.
Yeah. So okay, but so explain to me, like, what would an average day? What is your day-to-day routine as a DSI?
Being a DSI student, I think your timetable will itself take your whole time till 4 o'clock. And after that, if you have energy, you can do your extracurricular. It might be sports or anything that is your interest.
Okay. So like, and how many classes do you have on an average day?
Like 6.
6 classes.
Not with me.
No. Okay. Oh.
So it vary, I guess.
Varies,
It varies.
yeah.
It's slowly from department to department.
Okay.
In my department, we mostly have half days.
Hmm.
Out of 5 working days, we'll have 4 half days. I'd
Okay.
say we'll have pretty much leisure time in my department.
Okay, so see, I do not come from an engineering background, but
Okay.
that is what my dad wanted me to do. Okay, my dad wanted me to give the IIT exam. But there are a lot of things that we hear about engineers, and I just want to know if they are true or not. So,
Sure.
by popular conception, people believe that computer science engineering is the best. So, would you second that?
I mean,
As in branch wars,
yeah, I would accept with it.
that it pays the most.
I mean, it's in a way that all these MNCs and the companies who come to the college to hire students.
Yeah.
They know they know the hierarchy.
Yeah.
They know better ranked students are placed in better branches, which is computer science and engineering.
Okay.
So they'll obviously get a better student. I mean, a better student in the sense academically.
Yeah.
So that's how the misconception began. But then coming to the skills, every student is like skilled based on their individual interests. So we can't finalize the misconception.
I guess it's just that computer science is just that much more in demand today, because a lot of the companies today are tech companies and they want CS engineers, the
Yeah.
people who can code and all of that. It's more valuable, much more in trend. So that is why I guess this conception has formed wherein that CS engineering is the best, and it's kind of. But why is the conception about civil being the worst?
What do you think?
It's probably because it's a misconception that civil engineers are just build roads, lay bricks and all. But then that's not the actual fact.
No. I think it's because of the ranking, not offending anyone. The ranking, the lowest ranked people get to choose that, and they might end up not having an interest in the subject.
Okay.
So they were actually forced to learn it because they just got into it, and I think that's how most of the people get thrown into it.
Well, even though if the student is passionate about civil engineering, I don't think there's like enough job opportunities to fill everyone in.
I mean, considering the amount of construction activity that is happening in our country right now, and the plans that the government, the central government and various other state governments have for the future, I think the demand for civil engineers are going to increase. There is going to be a lot of news.
Not getting political, but then we have politics going on in India.
Obviously, politics will always go on. But see, infrastructure projects have a way of carrying forward through the governments, right? Right now, a lot of the projects that are being delivered may have been started in the previous governments, right? So these projects, once they are set in place, then obviously we would need more civil engineers, and definitely better ones, considering the quality of some of the bridges that have been constructed. So definitely better civil engineers are needed. Yeah. Now
It can be better.
tell me, अभी देखो DSI का dating scene कैसा है? ठीक है? And this is something that I don't think I know the audience wants to know. See, because I'll be honest, जैसे Bangalore है, so Bangalore में you hear a lot of things about Christ, you hear a lot of things.
Right.
The dating
I think DSI,
kind of crazy है वहाँ पे. So what is about DSI?
DSI has got influence from Christ, I feel like.
Okay.
Well, the boy girl ratio is pretty decent.
Yeah.
It depends upon your risk.
Okay.
You have to risk them up.
Okay, you have to risk them up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anything. So what would be, let's say if there's a single guy or a single girl in the college and they want to mingle. So what would be your advice for them?
There are many singers actually.
But
What
then,
would be an
you know,
advice? Okay.
I mean, mingle in the sense, to start dating or to get friends or.
I mean, see, anything right today works. Mingle as in whatever their goal is. If they just
Okay,
want-
guys, whatever your goal is, you just stay confident. Confidence is the key.
Okay.
But I'm pretty
It
sure
might
you'll
sound
find
hypocritic, but yeah.
the dating person from the other branch, not from your branch, because you'll be bored with the people in your class. So
Yeah.
you'll
Okay.
find from the other branches.
Okay. So, do you guys use Tinder, Bumble, or any of these dating platforms?
Not really.
But have you ever used them?
Never been.
So just heard, and then my friend was there.
Okay. So I just want to give you a fun scenario. So let's say you are on that platform,
Okay.
and then you're just swiping through, and you see, let's say, people from your college, let's say someone you know, blatantly lying there.
Okay.
Lying about their height, lying about their all of those things, their physical attributes. What would be your reaction?
I would just laugh it off.
You just laugh at. Would you point it out?
No, not really going into other personal matters. No, it gets complicated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's just say you'll just go to a private group chat. Screenshot.
Yeah.
Mm,
Probably some random house party discussion.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So, okay, now you've mentioned this a lot. I think you kind of like partying. So, how do DSI students party?
We party good. A lot. And also we have multiple fests and cultural events going on in your college. So there'll be a fun vibe going on simultaneously with your seminars coming up.
Okay.
So it's like
Are most students in your college, are they more clubbing or are they more house party?
I mean, see, it's a progression graph. From the first year to the final year, it'll be like from clubbing
Clubs
to house party.
Right. Good.
I can agree with that. I also only
Yeah.
went to clubs when I was in my first year.
Same, actually.
I
same.
stopped. Now you can only pay me to go to a club.
Nice.
So yeah, but yeah, so there are some things, I also see this is a big perception, and this has been also memed into oblivion that your college friendships, they don't last. That especially your first year group is not the same group that you graduate with. By third year it dissipates, disseminates, and I have seen examples. So why do you think that is?
The first thing is like in the first year, your classmates are different,
Yeah.
and your choices, you're stuck to be in PG or a hostel, and later in the second year you get an option to change other places, and you get to see the real face of the person. Because I have really felt it with my own roommate. I have seen her true colors after an year. I think she would kill me after seeing it. So we had to leave and then separate. It wasn't the same.
Well, I'd say during the initial days of college, we'd be more enthusiastic to make new friends, meet new people, and in that flow, we'd be carried and we'll carried away and make many friends, and have a huge ass group, hang with them every day, hang out with them every day. But then as time passes, you'll be left with the people only you vibe good with.
Correct.
So that's how a group of 10 becomes 2, 4.
I guess we're all a little enthusiastic when we're in the first
Yeah.
year, right?
The new college vibes.
Obviously, I also tried to engage as many people as I
Right.
could.
They
Tried
used
to
to be-
befriend almost anyone.
Anyone.
No, I was also but yeah, that whole story, because I have also seen it so many times. The same thing happening. With the people, there would be like a group of 3-4
Three,
people.
four, right.
You first year you'd see them everywhere together. All the stories they're together, all the trips they're together,
Right.
all the fairs they're together. And then second year come or third year come, you cannot see them. They can't even stand each other.
Correct.
Well,
So-
we started with a group of 9 to 10 people.
Then
Now it's a group of 2, 3.
same, actually, group of 10, and then we ended up with 3.
Okay. Yeah, but so that is interesting. And again, so you mentioned, right? Yeah. So how important is, let's say, having a nice room? Because
Really,
That's very important.
really, I think that would be the best decision you would have made if it was right. Because it really mattered to me, because after having a tiring day, the whole day, and then you come to a room where the roommate is not cooperative, she didn't want to make conversations. I think you'll have a bad day if she's not putting her efforts.
I mean, not only that, but then after a tiring day, you come to your room to rest, but then your roommate is too clumsy, too messy. But then he's your best friend. You can't do anything about it. But then he's too clumsy. That would disrupt the flow of your thinking.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, one of the things that I find really quirky is the subtle differences that that are there between a boys' hostel and a girls' hostel. Now, since you both are hostelites, okay, boys का तो मुझे थोड़ा बहुत पता है. I definitely want to know about what goes on in the girls' hostel. Okay, so see, one thing is in boys' hostel everything is kind of communal where you can use it.
Right.
मतलब except for your underwears, so you can use it. So that is the one thing that the boys keep saying, I would say. So how is it in the girls' hostel? I would say, are things shared? If or do they keep everything to themselves?
The thing is, if girls, I would say, it's like my friend wears a top and I like it, and I'll be like, no, next time I'm taking this. So we actually have this order where who should share the next.
Okay.
So
I would say so. The girls are even more organized.
We are organized and hygienic, if I have to mention. Do you agree?
It depends from individual. Hygiene.
Sure.
The hygiene levels differ from individual to individual.
Boys, it differs a lot. Definitely.
Yeah.
I've seen some monsters, I would say, but but again, there is one thing that that keeps on coming up. There's like that there is some politics that goes on in the girls' hostel. Because boys' hostel is peaceful. So it's really peaceful. Like you won't see that happening.
If you don't like him, you just go sort it out with him, or just
if you just don't interact with them.
That's it.
So again, it's based on a girls' group. So yeah, we do have gossips, but yeah, compared to boys, I think we gossip a lot. That's sure. And when I have like two best friends who are guys, and then I gossip everything from girls' hostel to them. And then they'll be like every day, आज कुछ नहीं हुआ girls' hostel में. ऐसे होता है.
See, that is the one perception that I would want to break. We guys are always also up for some tea. Okay, we also want. It's just that I think we have only started getting it, so अभी हमको आता नहीं है पूरी तरीके से लेना. We don't take all the details. That is our problem, I would say. So, but yeah, definitely, if you have some tea, count me up. Sign me up.
Sure.
So yeah, okay, but yeah, so that is there. Now, obviously, you guys are in your third year, right? Okay, so you're engineering students, so there's a fourth year that is compulsory for you. So you'll be doing that. So what are your plans after you're done with your college or graduation?
The first thing I have chosen is that in the process of 3 years, I realized that I can do a full-time content creation.
Okay.
So that's really giving me a hope that I can actually settle, because I can see the opportunities in it. So yeah.
Any of the brands watching that want to support young students, reach out to their Instagram.
It's off script, and you can go to the collab section and I'm open for it.
Yeah. Good. What about you, Abhiram?
Well, when I entered this college, I had no clue what to do. I'm saying it honestly. I had no clue what to do, where to go after engineering. But then my dad gave me the confidence that I still have 4 years left. You can aramse figure it out. And on the way to my third year, I've realized I can get into a very good MBA college. So I'm actually planning to get into an MBA college after my engineering and work on that related.
So are you preparing for? You started preparing for CAT or GMAT?
No, I think it's too early to start my preparations.
Okay.
Are you sure about that?
Exactly.
I should do it in my
So again,
sixth semester.
So again, yeah, like MBA, you want to do it like from India or from abroad?
Well, I'd stay back in India.
Same.
Yeah. So because see, anyways, this is something that I genuinely wanted to point out, that if anyone is planning for an MBA abroad, I would suggest them to work for a year or two, because obviously that again, in a lot of colleges outside India, it is a kind of also an eligibility criteria, so you won't be eligible if you don't have a year or two of work experience. But also, even for in general MBA, I genuinely suggest people to that they should work. maybe for a year and two, because they get to know, the workings and how a company operates, how a business operates, and then they can apply themselves that much more when they are going to an MBA. But obviously, if you're getting into an IIM, take that opportunity, the
Yeah.
first chance you get.
Yeah. But I don't know. I just did like 1 month of internship as a marketing person for a company. So once you get earned, you don't feel like leaving the company and then start studying.
Yeah.
So
that's-
that would happen with the MBA. If I would continuously work for 2 years, I wouldn't want to.
See, but again, once you
Okay.
start earning, then an MBA would definitely enhance it a lot. So basically, if you're, let's say, average Bangalore salary for freshers, usually around 6-7 LPA. Okay, if that is if you
Yeah.
land a good decent
Good,
company.
decent.
Okay, and but for most MBAs, the starting package is usually north of 15, right? And then depending on the institution that if it's the top IIM, then you go to the CRs, right? So then adding an MBA, having that extra 2 years of basically adding it on to your skill set, definitely enhances you in a position and puts you in a position where you're definitely much suited to better rewards, more incentives. So that is there. उसके अलावा तो so I think that is good. We've covered a lot of topics for this podcast today, and we want to keep it short. We want to keep it minimum. Let's see what is the response of this, and then we can definitely add more questions. But if there is anything that you guys want to know in the next episode or in whatever we do further, definitely drop your suggestions in the comment section. We are on the lookout for adding more questions. What are the topics? What are the conversations that students need to know? Students want to have. Okay. So I guess that's it for this podcast, for this episode. I had a really nice time talking to you guys, and you definitely shed some light on the inner workings of Dayananda Sagar College. And to all our viewers, we here at Campus Bench help students transition from school to college life, and we help you out. We help you guys with internships, with work opportunities, with accommodation, places to go, things to do. All of this information is there in the community. The link is in the description. Join it right now. If you're in a college, definitely it would help you out. So if you want to feature in the next episode where we are sharing student stories, so you can apply in the form that is in the description below. And if your profile suits, we will reach out to you for the next episode. Thank you so much for watching and have a nice day.